Hi, Happy Hoarder here, and I was at Hobby Lobby and they were having a clearance sale, including some of their dollhouse furniture and other miniatures. I was so excited. I got this regular price, $39.99 on this one, but it didn't have the $24.99 price. And I got it for $9.99, and I bought 2 sets because I wanted all those chairs. I also got these little dishes. They weren't on sale. And some little cups that I bought at Michael's previously. They were a little bit too big for my table setting, and I thought about putting them on my shelves, but I decided I don't want to open them, so I decided to make my own. So keep watching while I show you how I made these little bitty wine glasses and iced tea glasses for my table. I also noticed my buffet looked a little bare, so I added a couple of things to that as well, with some bottles that I picked up at Hobby Lobby previously and some buttons. Now here are the tools that I'm going to be using. I know it's a very interesting bunch of tools. I have some beads, pins, museum wax. That's the key here. As you see, I don't have any glue because I'm going to be using museum wax. I'll explain why that's the thing in a minute. So there are my gel caps, and I do get those for my turmeric and my ginger and things like that I mix myself. I also used a produce container in order to cut out a little rectangle that fits perfectly on top of my table. That way I don't have to put the wax on the table. I will just set everything on the plastic. And I have my sequins, and that's what I'm going to be using for the base of my glasses. And I'm also going to be using these long buccal beads in order to make the stem for my wine glasses. I have some extra tools here. I have, Q-tips because I got fingerprints on everything with those waxy fingers. I love my skewers. If you know me, I love skewers. It helps me to kind of move things around and arrange things without touching the whole table. Oh, you're going to notice in this video how I keep knocking my glasses over, but with the wax, it's very easy to reset. Yes, I'm using wax versus glue because the glue would have caused the gel cap to dissolve. There's a little bit of trial and error, but this is what worked best for me. Now this is not permanent, obviously, but it stays the same consistency. And like I said, even if I knock them over, I can fix them easily, and this is what worked for me. So what I do is I start by sticking down both of these sequins, and they are cup side down to make kind of like the stem, and I put both in place for the tea and for the wine glass. I kind of give you an idea of how everybody is set up. I'm going to just dab I would say a generous amount on there, because you will know, because if you don't put enough, it won't stick, and if you put too much, it's a big glob. So you kind of, like I said, trial and error kind of helped me put it on there, but do be prepared. As you see, I did knock over 2 of the glasses. A lot of big old hands were in there. That's why having the little tools is so helpful when you're working with miniatures. And they have like little tweezers and things like that all around the barn. I just need one work area. Right now I'm trying to work in my kitchen and in my studio and in my barn and my house and everywhere. So yeah, stuff is scattered. But I am using the tool to just kind of position those and make sure they stick down. And as you see here, it is much easier to use the tools to kind of pull them back into place. And they stick right back where they were because of the wax. It's awesome. And now for the gel cap. So I take one, and they are a little bit yellow, but for what I'm using them for, it's just the way it is. And I separated them, and then I will have the taller one will be the iced tea glass, which just presses on there very easily, which is amazing. And then the smaller one is going to be the cup of my wine glass. Now you could use anything for the stem, and that's what makes it really fun. But the most important part is to have a pin. And then you can string beads on it, so you could really make this look nice. Oh, and I always have a towel handy to wipe your fingers on. I take my pin and I stick a hole in the center of the gel cap, and that is where I will be running it from the inside. So I'm going to show you kind of picture where I have it on the outside and how I centered it, and then I switch it around to where the head of the pin is on the inside, and I add the bead, and then I trim off the bead. Here's my little word of warning here. Make sure you just cut it slightly and then bend it off, or you will have pieces of pin all over your kitchen like I did. and now I have to go find them. So I'm using my wax. What I did is I just put it on my toothpick and then I just stuck it on there. It really doesn't take a lot. But one thing I did do, and I didn't mention, I did dip my pen in the wax first so that it would help kind of hold that bead on. Once I finally get these straightened out, use whatever you can because fingers are big and clumsy and they get in the way. So remember that spinach container? Yeah, that's the piece I cut out of the container and glued everything on using the wax. Even the little napkins that I made, I just cut down a paper napkin and I used a jump ring for the napkin rings. Those little wooden dishes I had were perfect for chargers, and this is just a cute set. I'm so excited about it. So the first round, if you saw the video earlier, I didn't feel like I had enough stuff going on my buffet, so I did a few things. I made a beaded top for my bottle to make it look more like a little wine carafe. And I set my pie and other things up on the buttons to make them look a little bit dressier. That kind of weird. I also changed out my coffee pot. If you noticed, this little metal coffee pot that I have that doesn't have a top. So I had to go out to my studio to dig through buttons till I found the perfect button that would fit on the top. And I forgot to mention the placemats. I made them out of floral ribbon, which is a little bit stiffer than regular fabric ribbon. Then I made the salt and pepper shakers out of beads. I chose a black bead and a pearl bead that were the same size and some little silver beads for the top. So thank you all for watching. And if you haven't done any miniatures, I encourage you to give it a try. And if you are a miniature artist and you haven't tried using wax versus glue, I think you should give it a try too. Thanks for watching. Bye!